Sometimes all good things must come to an end. Is it the end of the ride for Jack Bech, DT, Dont'e Thornton? I don't think so, but one of our insiders seemed to think so. But the good thing that had to end was the intro I had with AP and the old regime. Out with the old, in with the new. Welcome to Bart. Next stop, Gossip Guy Way.
All that matters is today. Stay present, man. 3.5 hours, do this together, man. It starts with us, it ends with us.
Thank you. God bless. Thank you guys for coming.
That's what we'll be about. We about to be about winning. That's what we talking about, winning over here. I don't know what the rest of y'all doing. I don't know what the rest of y'all own, but I'm getting these real goosebumps in real life so many times because I know what's going on. I've been on bad teams. I've been on championship teams, and I know what it's like, and I've been really waiting for the Raiders to turn the corner. The outcome will be the outcome, but I love how we going about the process because you know what? There's a price to pay for winning, and you must pay the price. Tim Grover. If y'all know about Tim Grover, y'all better get up on game. Welcome to Bart, the Bay Area Raider Talk. It's your boy Black, the quarterback. And I just, it's in your feelings Monday. It wouldn't be me if I didn't give us a platform to be in our feelings on Monday. I see things during the weekend, and and it's like their feelings is bottled up. You can't wait till Monday to pour it out. So I heard so many things over the weekend, and most of it was just today. And they was talking anything from DT and Jay Bech is on the practice squad and getting traded. And that was a new one on me, Hondo. That was a nice little curveball. Which remind me, a lot of y'all go after Hondo. Well, I can't understand why y'all can name Hondo out, but y'all don't yell each other out when y'all say similar weird things. And then when I do it, then never mind. Anyway, shout out to Hondo because he was tripping on this one. But he might know something I don't know. So I always postpone judgment. I do postpone judgment, and I can make my opinion based on the information that I have. But what's up with the chat? What's up with y'all? Welcome to Bar. You gotta pay your fare. Don't be no fair raider. Hit that like button. Don't be a fair raider. Hit that like button for your boy. Trying to get in this algorithm. What's good with the peoples? What's up with Jack Yates? Furpo, what's good? Furpo in the building. Ray Flores, you gotta love that last name. One of our greats is there. So man, we're gonna talk about Tyler Lindenbaum on the list. I heard some things like the running back by committee thing. Is Max ready? Did y'all see Max at the Sack Summit? Just wondering, me personally, I was wondering, is he going to be ready by the beginning of training camp? And I wouldn't have felt no serious type way if he wasn't, because we're going to make sure he really, really rehabs. But I saw a video of him at the Sack Summit, and I was saying last week when the old 49er girl, did I say 49er or the 49er girl, decided she was trying to set my boy Max up. And I was like, man, just stay in the house, man. Go to the Make a Wish Foundation. But he pulled up for the Sack Summit. That was cool. And he also pulled up on Neon and had some things to say that I want to say here. Y'all, I want y'all to hear. So, all right, Max. All right, Max. Just watch what you're saying, man. It's still Kobe Bryant, though. Watch what you say. But I did say the Niners, didn't I?
If you're a Niner fan, what it do? Marshawn Lynch said, you. I'm a Raider.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it. What's some of the craziest things y'all heard over the weekend? Maybe y'all can share it with me so I don't feel like I'm the only one that's delusional or whatever of things I hear. Or my algorithm is just algorithm on its own. The AG is on its own. Mendoza Monday, I like that. I like that. Man, I hope y'all like the new intro. It ain't all the way done. I just had to get rid of the old because you got to go out with the old, in with the new. Some people wait till the perfect time to do things. His perfect timing is always right now, man. And I'll make it better as it go because some of the players haven't played yet for this year. So let's see. Let's go to the top, to the top of the top. Once again, the execs had something to say. They said this is a consensus of 7 guards and centers earned at least one first place votes. Most of last year's top options were factors in the voting yet again. You got to keep that in mind. All right. This is for your executive coaches, scouts, ranked top NFL guards and center for 2026. All right, number 1, Tyler Smith from the Cowboys. I'm just running down the list. Quentin Nelson, Freed Humphrey from the Queefs. He was highest ranking 1. Last year ranking was 1. His lowest ranking was 10, and he's at 3. Quinn Meirez, I don't even know who he is, but I know it's a lot of AFC West players on here already. That's 1, 2. Bears. Hold on. How many AFC West? Lindstrom, Trey Smith. Okay, yep, that's 3. And right under that is Tyler Lindenbaum. He haven't played as a Raider yet, but he is number 8 on the list. Let's look at this gentleman right here, Creed Humphreys. Why he well, we'll go back to that. Why he jumped. Let's look at Tyler Lindenbaum. His highest ranking was 1. His lowest ranking was unranked. So he came from the bottom. The bottoms. He from the bottoms, y'all. Last year ranking 10. And he's moving up. He moved up to 8. Says Lindenbaum hit the market at a perfect time. March as a rare Pro Bowl offensive lineman available in free agency. The Raiders gave him a record-shattering 3-year, $81 million contract. We gave him an offer he couldn't refuse. Lindenbaum upgrades the Raiders' offense immediately. Not just the offensive line, y'all, but the whole offense immediately. He's known for his elite run blocking. But in the past game, he has ranked second among centers in pass block win rate, 97.2 last year. A heavy-handed center that can get to the second level. A veteran NFL defensive coach said, there are many of those at the center position who can do that at the high level. And he can run the show from the communication standpoint. That's what we need, a point guard on that line. Despite Lindenbaum's impressive pass blocking numbers, some coaches say he's a liability in that area at times and can float and help with scheme protection instead of matching up one-on-one. Also, what that sound like that y'all said, hold on. I like to say things, y'all can see it. It sounds like they saying that he be running from smoke. And I'm mad I forgot that I had a clip that showed last year where Jordan Meredith was ducking smoke. Now, I thought it was just him not knowing what he was going to doing, but I was like, you know what? They were saying JPJ was the one that wasn't knowing, and he asked old Buddy a question, and all of a sudden, Buddy took his spot because he was the one who had the answer. Sway. But I legit saw this boy Jordan Meredith guarding somebody. Look over here and double team somebody else that was already being guarded and let his man run right through and got Geno Smith smacked. Susie slapstick. I was like, what was that? You ducked the smoke? So is that what y'all trying to say about Lindenbaum? He be ducking smoke? But I'm like, look, he's 8th, coming up from 10th. I mean, I'm trying to think, would I really prefer him to be a little higher? 1 second, y'all. Mom Dukes is calling. Sorry about that. You know when Mom Dukes call, you got to answer, man. My bad, y'all, my bad. So he said Linderbaum is a beast. He was tailor made for our scheme. We're so lucky to have him. I agree with that. Now I'm trying to think, should I be feeling some type of way about him at 8? And I'm not, because they do say his pass blocking is to be desired. But I think what we're trying to do is we're building a run dominant O line. I mean, you can run the ball to set up the pass, which that's what we're doing. But we want to be able to dominate it in the run game because we do have a stud at a running back. We actually do have a running back. A lot of people wasn't too happy about or questioning that should we taking him at 6. See, sometimes it's not about getting the best player, it's about getting the best player that fit what you're trying to do, to fit your vision. A lot of times people take situations because it seems like it's the best one at the time. And the thing about it is, how does it fit the bigger picture? Do you even have a bigger picture? That's why a lot of people are not seeing this whole Mendoza sit thing because they're not looking at the bigger picture. What they're looking at is, ooh, this is new. I want to play with this right now. Let's rip it out the package. And I'm like, why do that when you ain't got to? I can see if we had to, but let me see. AE, what's good with you, brother? So a lot of people say, not a lot of people. Let me stop saying that because I heard that maybe it has something to do with his his pass blocking was to be desired it's because Lamar Jackson. And Lamar Jackson is a run first type wide receiver. I mean, quarterback. Excuse me. Which that's not really that's not really true anymore. He's not a run first quarterback. Actually, there's quarterbacks that's rated higher than him in leaving the pocket. Josh Allen, um, but he's actually been in the pocket more often than normal. And so, granted, though, I get it. The quarterbacks are different because Lamar can leave the pocket, whereas Kirk Cousins ain't gonna really flush the pockets like that. ALC gonna stand in the pocket, and Fernando gonna stand in the pocket and maybe flush the pocket. So it's not the same. So maybe that will increase his number. I do agree with that. His pass blocking should increase because we're gonna be so dominant in the run game that our passing game is gonna be really really efficient. So I'm looking up for that. So is it going to rise into a level of all pro? Would you guys say he'll be an all pro this year? Rooster, what's up? J-Roy, I got you in a second. Run first identity. What's up with you? Alec Kim. Let me see. Let me see. What does that stand for? Because I hate seeing that and not knowing what to call you. Welcome to being on the bark. Please hit the thumb button. That's the fair. Don't be a fair raider. Don't do that. He was pass blocking for Lamar Jackson was got to be tough. Well, here, let me find this for you guys real quick because I'll be doing the education. And not to say y'all don't be knowing, and not to say I know everything because I don't, because I get the information and I just, you know what I mean, trying to make my most informed decision. It said during the 25 season, Lamar Jackson actually broke the pocket less frequently than usual due to hamstring and ankle injuries, logging 30 scrambles, ranked 18th among quarterbacks. Go figure, y'all. However, his willingness to extend plays outside structure remains elite. And I told y'all, remember I told you, y'all quarterbacks make their money on primarily two things. The ability to make plays when the plays break down, when they don't go with schedule, off schedule plays, and third downs. And I would question and I would say probably in the red zone, but red zones had a lot to do with play calling, like how you set up plays in the play in the before you get to the red zone. But it's definitely that when you throwing the ball on third down to getting first downs and your ability to make off schedule plays. So he recorded an average time to throw of 3.16 seconds, the fourth highest mark in the league. So it is tough. I bet I would agree. It probably is tough, but it's probably not the way we would think. Okay, 10-7. You think we gonna go 10-7? Ray straight. Where you been, bro? Oh yeah, you already answered my question on break at work. Called a live show. Yeah, thank you, brother. You know, I like when you pull up for sure. Appreciate when you pull up. I appreciate it. Yeah, so Lamar Jackson, he really last year he wasn't running out the pocket like that. So do you guys think 8 was fair for him? I would like to personally see Colton Miller end up on the tackle list, which I don't think he ended up on that list because he's been down the last couple of years. And I know people seem to think, well, over the last 2 years, he's been injured, so he's injury prone. Like, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. He's still a young guy. Let's not do that. Now, he's not, he top 10, top 15 tackle. I'll say top 10, but he has to work his way back up to that. So next year, I would like to see him at least get that honorable mention. And you know what I realized about these lists too? Because I was looking at the quarterbacks. These lists are kind of piss certain people off. I think they kind of like Will Smith said on Bad Boys. The media, you know, it be having a little slant. It got a little slant. So some of these things on here, it's kind of outrageous or outlandish. You know what I'm saying? But you know, there's something to talk about during this dead time. So let's go. So we got two Chiefs. We got two Chiefs, a Bronco, and a Raider on here. There wasn't a Raider yet. But what I thought interesting was this about Creed Humphreys down here. It says, we didn't game plan much for him, if at all, said a veteran NFL defensive coach. We were more worried about Trey Smith. Now, see, I want to highlight that for a reason because people get caught up in the stats. And remember, I like to tell people stats tell a story, but it doesn't necessarily tell the story. You know, correlation doesn't necessarily mean causation. It can sometimes. You can see a trend. If you can see a few things and it's trending that way, then you can kind of make a educated, thought process about it. But overall, so this guy is further on the list at 7, Trey Smith, than this guy, Creed Humphreys. So I think Leonard Baum, they kind of know who he is. They think this scheme is going to work for him a little bit better. It is I would say it's a scheme fit, but anything is a scheme fit better than what they had going on in Baltimore because that's the reason why they can't win because they can't figure out their offense. They got lights out, all world quarterback. They got one of the best running backs of all time statistically and just in general. Like he's in that room. He might not be at the head table, but he in that room for sure. And they just can't get it together because at first it wasn't didn't have a run game. Then they went and got the run game and then the coaching. And then now they no longer the coaching because now the coach is gone. So they just can't figure it out yet. And I hope we figure it out before they do because they are in the AFC. All right, let's take a look at was there any honorable mentions on here I want to talk about? Because I'm only going to be on here for like about an hour because I'm going to go on with Raider Ben. We got a show. We're going to talk about this a little bit. But I like getting some of my takes out so I don't have to try to dominate somebody else's show or dominate a show that I'm on. Because, I can be very opinionated or passionate. All right, let's look at the tackles. Let's see. Is there anybody on here worth talking about? Trent Williams. Here we go. T. Williams. Oh, Grizzly. I just wanted him on. I just want to bring this list up because of T. Grizzly. Oh, KG bet he is. He's rocking at number 2. So when we're talking about this Colton Miller thing and Come on, man. Let's give it time. Let's just give it time because there are, and I understand. I don't think Trent Williams is the outlier. He's in his 30s. Like I'm just saying, you can play in your 30s. That's really my point that I'm making right there. And I would question that a lot of these guys on this list are older than Colton Miller too. Let's see. Seattle Seahawks. I see some Seattle Seahawk linemen on here now. Well, honorable mention was one, and then I thought I saw one on here. No, I didn't. Hold on. I thought I said Denver Bronco. Okay, well, Charles Cross is on here. Yeah. Oh, Colton Miller got a vote. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Colton Miller got a vote. That's what I'm talking about. All right, let's get it, Colton. So I need to see two Raiders on these lists next year. That's what I need to see. That's what I need to see. Straight up. All right. Let's see. What you guys think? B Moore got rid of Hardball, Lindenbaum, and Crosby in one offseason. You ain't lying. Also, let me ask you a question. What I think our record gonna be. So now, if I want to be safe, right, I'm gonna say 6 wins because that's probably the safe. What's a safe number for me to use? I want to say 7 wins based on my calculation that we can get like 8 or 9 wins looking at the schedule. But I know that I adjusted for biasness, so it's at a 7. So really, my number is really 7. But if I was to sit here and be like, if I want to be safe and be like a lot of people and just be like, well, I'm not going to put myself in this situation where I'm going to look wrong or whatever. Let me say between 5 and 9 games. Like that's a big ass gap. I mean, like 5 and 8 games. Like stand on a number. So I would say 6 or 7, but if I had to pick a number, I'm gonna say 7. That's my number, 7. Number of completion. Owner wanted 2 first picks back. Cancel the deal. Yeah, and he was like, Pop's tripping. He wanted me to ask for my first round draft picks back. You know I wouldn't even trip, Debo. What draft picks? You know, the one we gave you for Max Crosby. Max Crosby. We don't want no Max Crosby, punk. Yeah, essentially what happened was they just got mad because first of all, it was uncomfortable. They never really traded their first round draft picks, and they went on the limb to get 2. And then they found a way to get out of it because it was the optics that the Raiders got Tyler Lindenbaum and 2 first round picks for Max Crosby. Could it be that they got Trey Henderson too? Yeah, they did the top 10 list. He wasn't even on the list. He got like an honorable mention. So they're not even in the same breath because Max got 4. He was 4th on the list. So I don't know what really happened. 2 things could be true. One thing is for certain. I think that they got buyer's anxiety or something, whatever you call it, when you scared to do something because it's this anxiousness of it, or you just thinking of the consequences, or you don't want to fail or whatever. So that's what I kind of thought that was about. Let's see. 6 or 7 wins with Kirk, or 4 or 7 wins with Mendoza. Man, that's what Kirk Cousins, man. If we put Mendoza in there, we only gonna get like 4 or 5. If Mendoza go in there, we only gonna get like 4 or 5. Not because of his skills, just because I broke it down on 25, 82, and 2. When you start a number one pick that's a quarterback, and you start him in the last 10 years, 25, 82, and 2. Average is not 6 wins either. Average is more like 4 wins. But I think that Mendoza might could get like 5 maybe. That's why I'm like Kirk Cousins is at least 2 games better than Mendoza, at least. So that's why I say 8 is not out the realm of possibility for me. And 9 is we just Cousins just acting a fool. That's just if he come in acting a fool. While everybody looking to see how many weeks before he get injured, I'm looking for him to act a fool. I don't know why he been acting a fool his whole career. They put him in this weird situation. Then he balls. Then they say, well, it's because of something, something, something. Then he go over here, get the bag over here. Then it's something, something, something. And then oh yeah, we need a quarterback to get him, and then they draft a quarterback behind him. Oh well, we think he gives us a better chance, and you put him in, and then the dude get hurt, and then Cousins come back and win you 5 out of the last 7 games or something like that. And now the GM get fired, the coach get fired, the quarterback that y'all brought in is broke up, and now he's fighting for a job against Tui Tagovailoa. That's why y'all don't win nothing, because y'all messed up from the top down, not the player up. So whenever I hear people like to throw everything on the player without starting at the top, that let me know you looking at it backwards. Because the players can't outplay the system. They can't outplay the head office. It's not going to happen. They're not going to outplay the competency of or the lack of competency at the head. You don't see franchises accidentally winning Super Bowls. And if it do, it's an outlier. 68.2 percentile or more, the bell curve, that is going to be a team that is competent from the top down. So 8 wins is appreciated by me. This team needs to improve on their record. Yeah. Who cares what's good? How we still suck with Kurt? Who said we suck with Kurt still? What do you mean? Would love to see 10 wins, but it'll be tough to do. Yeah, for sure it would be. It don't matter, man. Max ain't going nowhere, and if he is, we gonna funk. Me and Max gonna funk. So, what y'all think about? Speaking of Max, let me play something that I seen this weekend at the SAC Summit and see if you guys think will he be ready by week 1 or training camp actually. Let's go back to the beginning. So he was racing. He was racing Jared Verse. An explosion off the line. Just in case you didn't see it. That looked like confidence and everything on his knee.
Greatness is defined by how many people you inspire, and that's the beauty of this thing.
What speed are you able to go right now, Max? What speed are you able to go right now, Max, on the leg? I know you want to go 110% today. How's the recovery in the leg going?
How do I look?
He looks 1,000%.
I feel amazing.
He's ready to go.
I feel amazing.
Ready to go.
Been incredible for sure.
So you heard the man. He said he feel incredible. He feel amazing. That means he ready for it. Are you guys starting to sense what's going on here? I'm saying all this to really say is let's get behind our players. Can you take away your personal biases or beefs or funk with this man as long as he's here? As long as he's here, because we are not going to win a championship if we're divided from the franchise. The stars got to line up for things to happen. It takes a little bit of luck to win. Some things the ball got to bounce your way sometimes. So let's get in unison. Like until something happens and he actually leaves and he signs some paperwork, then y'all can light off. What I'm saying, all the firecrackers you want. But as long as we're Because I play with people like that. Like you play a sport that you putting your body and your life on the line, and then you know this person don't like you, but then you make a business decision to go ahead and put your life on the line, knowing this person don't like you, or some people just won't do it, especially when there's money involved. And speaking of business decision, make sure y'all hit the you feel me underneath the screen. Hit the like button for your boy. Hit the subscribe. Consider hitting the subscribe button and join the sub club so you can be a chat raider. So you can be part of this Nation One Nation, Raider Nation. So what y'all think about Max, man? Y'all think he ready? How you think he looked? So I'm getting juice. Willie Wayne was good. Raiders are in the wrong. We suck. We in the wrong by what? Let me see. Or maybe or Max just attended the event. No, I seen him doing drills. And he definitely was competing right there. Does that have something to do with the Raiders? What's that? What does what have to do with this Raiders? And who ain't got the answers about what? Nice fast first step. Max looking good out there. Bro, we finally have a number one pick in the franchise with all the accolades that Mendoza have and Siddle. Yeah, what part of 25, 82, and 2 don't you understand, bro? Like, what part of that don't you understand? What part of 25, 82, and 2 don't you understand? Just because even Tom Brady himself has said, just because you grab somebody number one, don't mean they're ready right now, especially for what we're trying to do. Like, why is it so indicative that he go out there? Why? Just tell me why. Because he's the number one pick. That's your reasoning? Why? Because he's the number one pick. And he's supposed to be all go. Even Joe Burrow, like arguably one the best quarterback in college, other than Tebow, collegely and collegiately. And he came out and got blew out the first year. I mean, like, why? Most of the time, these teams, the quarterback has to go out there because they don't have nobody else on the roster. So why do you have to send him out there? Why? 25, 82, and 2. You see how impatient y'all was with Pete Carroll? Y'all, yeah, a lot of y'all was talking high praises about Pete Carroll. And I talked real mad respect for Pete Carroll, and I still have respect for him for what he went through last year. Although he kind of stepped in his own way, sabotaged himself, and by getting into it with everybody. But that's because he is the head man, and they had all these different things going on. But y'all didn't start calling them geriatric and old and all that with the force y'all do it until now. Because y'all looking at the results. Because they didn't go y'all way, but now had the Raiders would have won 7 games, then we wouldn't have got Kubiak because we would have kept them another year because we would have been trending up. This things just happen for a reason. We were supposed to reestablish our culture. We wasn't supposed to look at the schedule. But then once he said something like we're gonna win a bunch of games, y'all didn't hear that. What y'all heard was when he said he win 10 games every year to bring credibility to us winning a bunch of games, y'all took that to mean, oh, we're gonna win 10 games. So if y'all was if the fan base was so sensitive in that, what you think gonna happen if Mendoza go out there and win 3 or 4 games? Be patient? Yeah, right. You ain't gonna be patient at all. Y'all gonna crash out. Be all on the floor spinning like a little kid.
I hate the Raiders. I hate the Raiders. I hate the Raiders.
John, calm down. John, they'll win the next game, John.
I hate the Raiders.
Yeah, that's what the fan base be looking like. And don't get me wrong, they give you reason to make you want to cry, make you want to holler the way they do my life. But why are we so in a rush? Why don't we just trust what they're doing? Why don't we follow their lead? Why don't we stop thinking for them or thinking outside the box other than what they're saying? Like, why are we doing that? Oh, I forgot. I know why. Because it's PTSD, post-traumatic Super Bowl deficiency. That's what it is. But we in our feelings about it. I feel it. I can get in my feelings a little bit too. But speaking of in your feelings, I'm gonna read the comments too because you guys are giving me some good insight or pushback. I heard this today. They said, "Just win, baby, is dead. Commitment to excellence is dead." I put that under my gossip guy file though. Now this ain't so much about the person, unless you're a repeat offender, then you become a gossip guy. But the comment alone don't make you a gossip guy. If you just a repeat offender, then you become a gossip guy. Is Raider just win, baby, dead. Commitment to excellence is dead. And when I hear that, how does that make y'all feel when y'all hear that before I say what I'm going to say? Let me look at the comments. What's good? What's good, y'all in here? What's Mac was doing? Does that have to do with the Raiders or Max got invited? Oh, so the thing about it is it's kind of like what they do is they held a camp. I think Von Miller started it some years back. Because you know how they have like the tight end university? It's similar to that. But I think they started theirs first, the second summit first. Is where all of they get together, exchange, little tips and of the trade while they raise money and whatever, whatnot. So it was for a good cause. And he was out there. Now I'm not judging it one way or the other. Should he been out there or not? People say he could have got hurt. Yeah, you could get a non-contact injury walking to the car or walking on the field. It could happen. If you play scared, even in life, you're gonna get injured. And Max Crosby is the last person you should think play scared. Borderline reckless abandon, calculated chaos. Here we go. You don't buy a Ferrari and keep it in the garage. Go ask a person who actually got a Ferrari. Well, go ask a person who actually got a Ferrari how true that is. A person with a Lamborghini don't drive it every day. You don't. Even with a Benz, you ain't even supposed to drive that every day. With a Benz, you ain't even supposed to drive that every day. That ain't your work car. Unless all of a sudden, then you level up, and then you can get something higher than that. Then you start getting a Maybach, and then you can drive that SL or whatever every day. Like that's the franchise. We were putting the franchise on this guy, and y'all want to just throw the franchise out there, not knowing what we got because we got a new O-line, new defensive coordinator, new defense, new head coach, new offensive coordinator. You got a brand new key everything, but you want to throw the franchise out there. New driver, just throw them out there. Here's the keys to the Lambo, son. I love you. Nah, bro. I'm sorry. No, it's okay. You're a regular, so you got a grace period. You got 5 minutes grace period. You can walk in, walk back to the class, pop open the laptop. You feel me? It's all good. Let me see. See what else we seeing. So what do y'all tell me what y'all think about is just win baby dead or commitment to excellence dead? He bubble wrapped? Yeah, he should be bubble wrapped. He should be bubble wrapped. I'm glad he bubble wrapped. He should be bubble wrapped. Yes. Yes. Oh, you got to warm the Ferrari before you roll off? Really? Okay. No, bro. I know you giving your opinion, bro. I get it. I know, bro. I'm not trying to like take a squat on it. I'm just saying part of it is because I keep repeating this, and I don't mind it. And two, second is I'm very passionate about it. Like you, my guy, J. Rock. For sure, you is. I wish you would pop on the screen and come to the. You feel me? We had a great conversation. We haven't been winning. We haven't been winning because we've been doing things wrong from the top down. We keep trying to make it right from the player up. Just like right now, you want to make, you think Mendoza's going to turn some things around. No, what's turning the things around is the things that we're doing from up the top down. And if the top down say they want to put bubble wrap on him, put bubble wrap on him. That don't mean you go drive it when they go off to work or something. I'm gonna drive it. Ferris Bueller day off. I'm gonna drive the car anyway, and then reverse the car because they'll reverse the miles. What y'all know about Ferris Bueller's day off? Alfredo, what's good? And we got a quarterback that's competent, though. You want him to beat him in camp? That's not gonna happen, bro. It's not gonna happen. Oh, so this is what you were saying. Quitters, weak mindset. Oh, maybe that's what y'all was talking about earlier because I did ask that question. What y'all think about the just quitters, weak mindset? Perfect. That's what I was hoping I saw. That's what I was hoping I saw. Not that I was expecting an answer, but I was hoping that somebody seen it the way I seen it. Because that's how I started this podcast off by saying, winning has a price, and you must pay the price. You have to pay the price. That's any high level competitor, the Tom Brady's, the Michael Jordans, rest in peace, the Kobe Bryant's, even the LeBron James. I'm talking about players that's been to the championship multiple times, won multiple times. A lot of people can get into a situation where they win once, but can you go there multiple times? Because it gets harder every time. And if you haven't done it and you don't know the mindset that it takes to do that, then I could expect people to say stuff like, just win, baby, is dead. See, that's what I was trying to explain. Just win, baby, don't mean just win by any means necessary. Well, Al Davis said that, right? To a level, right? It's a little level, it's a little, the Venn diagram, it's a little overhang. That's why I'm starting to turn my thoughts about Tom Brady a little differently. Is you don't just win by any means like scrapping and scraping. Just win mean like do what it takes to win. And what it takes to win is to be obsessive, attention to detail, willing to give it all, relentless, all those things. And we don't want to do that. And then commitment to excellence. That's why I started, on my page. It's going to be all there, man. By the time all this plays out, it's all going to be there. I put commitment to new excellence because we have a new excellence now. And we've been trying to do it. We've been swinging for the fences. We've been trying to make competent decisions. They just didn't pan out. Just like any business owner know. Your first couple of years, or 3 to 4 or 5 years, not to say the Raiders have been that long. What I'm saying is each regime is a new business owner. And it usually takes 2 or 3, 4 years before you get it right. But this is a league that's a performance right now, like the Nuffle, not for long. They want you to do something in 2 years. That's why Kubiak says what he said. We got to earn that week to be here every day. We got to earn that because the turnaround is crazy in the NFL. He's not taking his position for granted. And if anybody got the grace, other than all the last coaches we've been had, it's going to be Kubiak. I heard people talking today about reasons why Rob Leonard could get fired. And I'm like, the man ain't even put the defense on the field yet, and y'all talking about him getting fired. Hence why I have In Your Feelings Monday. Because when I hear stuff like that, then I get in my feelings. And so I got to talk them out therapeutically. well, I'm trying to help some of these delusional thoughts. But J-Ro, you my guy though, for real. Raider News Central was good. Can't take any one season like this. Can't take any more seasons like this, like last season. Well, it's not going to look like that because last year we was better than a 3-win 10 game. I'm telling you, we was better than a 3-win team. We was better than a 3-win team, bro. Here we go, Flores. You starting to get it. Tom Brady, check. GM, check. Fernando Mendoza, check. Stadium, check. Money, check. Right. From the top down. From the top down. Let me get to the quarterbacks, the wide receivers real quick, J-Ro. And if I got time, I'll throw you the link, bro. Because I told you I'm only going to be on this show for an hour, man. Dang. See, they did secretly tank. Now, had I had nothing to do, nobody would pull up. But let's talk about wide receiver one. The wide receiver one, I'm going to run through this real quick. Wide receiver one myth about Hondo. Is it insight or is it insane? Because I'm hearing a lot of people say, we don't have a wide receiver one. That's not true, man. Stop saying we. I wish y'all. I get it because people like to use that word interchangeably. We do have a wide receiver one. The wide receiver one is Trey Tucker. You want to know why he's the wide receiver one? Because the wide receiver one is the receiver I can rely on the most when bullets is flying like right by me. And I know that if I do certain things that I could get saved out of those situations because I can rely on this guy, even if I don't see him. If I don't see him, I can still throw the ball there because I know he's going to actually get there. Instead of make me look bad and I throw it to the defense. And then everybody started talking about, well, why are you throwing all them picks? Well, why the receivers keep getting rerouted? Because y'all don't see that because it's off the screen. Only thing y'all see is the quarterback, and then y'all just see the ball flying in the air, and then y'all just see a bunch of people going after the ball. Y'all don't see what happened all before that. The quarterback got to pay attention to all of that. And so the wide receiver one is the quarterback that you have the wide receiver one is a receiver that you got the most confidence in. Now, why is it interchangeable? Because QB1 he's supposed to be the best wide receiver on the team. He's supposed to be able to blow the lid off the defense, run all the routes, whatever, can do everything like Justin Jefferson. Every team got a wide receiver one because they list them like this. Okay, we got wide receivers. So we got wide receiver number 1, wide receiver number 2, wide receiver number 3. So when we lost Jacoby last year, guess who slid into the number 1 slot? Trey Tucker did. And that's why his numbers inflated, because he became the most reliable target. Why did they bring in Tyler Lockett for Geno? Oh, it's because Pete Carroll wanted to have his... No, because Pete Carroll know that Geno Smith can rely on Tyler Lockett. He can rely on that. He's going to know the routes, even though he just came in, because the terminology is different, but the scheme is and the plays aren't that different. He knows his timing already. So he almost is like wide receiver one-ish. So this interchangeable, man. So people like to use that interchangeably. So it's not just about who's the best player. It's who's the leader in the room, in the wide receiver room. It's not just about ability. That's a backwards mentality to think, well, the number 1 wide receiver is the one that can break the jam and he's the fastest on the team and he gets all these catches. That might not necessarily be the wide receiver 1 on your team. Because it could not necessarily be the best. Well, usually it's the best guy. Usually, let me not say it's not. Usually it is the best guy because he's the most reliable. But if the quarterback don't like you like that, Then you can have a situation where you can, like in Miami, you would think that the Chiefs was wide receiver one, but it could be argued that Landry was the receiver one. Then you got to look at stats. But then that only tells a story. You got to ask the quarterback really, and then you got to kind of look at who was targeted more, who got more, all that stuff. But in your mind, you're gonna think Tyreek Hill is, but Tyreek Hill ain't no boundary wide receiver. Matter of fact, a lot of these number one wide receivers in these camps, they're not boundary wide receivers. JSN wasn't a boundary wide receiver. Cooper Kupp wasn't no boundary wide receiver. Who else? There's a few of them out there. Matter of fact, you put those guys in the slot a lot of times so you can create a mismatch because now you got your best receiver or a good receiver on a third corner or a number three corner or a safety. It's all about matchup. So getting caught up on, well, the X receiver is the number one. Like I play X receiver, right? I question even to this moment. I think this is how I kept my ego in check. Was I the number one receiver on our team? I thought about it today. I never really thought about it. Was I the number one? I always thought I was the best receiver on our team, but I thought I was the best receiver when I was on the bench behind my nigga Nell Diddy, who taught me a lot about the game. I just thought I would have better games and was more athletic than him, but he knew the game better than me, and he was better. But in my mind, I was better. But I had to wait my time. And then was I the wide receiver one? Well, me and the other starting wide receiver, I was first team all conference. He wasn't. Him and the quarterback was better friends than I was with the quarterback that we had. The coach for sure liked the other wide receiver better. I just was open all the time. Or when I got the ball, I went crazy. What? Was I wide receiver one because I played X? Or I don't know. I don't know. I just think it's the most reliable wide receiver. I don't know. So just like my boy Trey Tucker, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. I know y'all heard that. So get off these stereotypes and stop using these words interchangeably. Because stereotypes is something else, man. Because you can get exposed by looking at these stereotypes. He's not fast, or he creates no separation, or he's not physical at the line of scrimmage. He only runs 4.5. All that stuff, man, that's not necessarily what makes you wide receiver one. I will tell y'all the story about the Colorado Redwoods and the football team we played, this stereotype thing. I'm gonna tell it real quick. All white guys. We got a bunch of brothers on the squad. I'm talking about, like thugged out, all in the streets after the game, whatever. Can nobody punk us and none of that. Feel me? We've been played this team, all white boys. Because you're thinking that you're sizing them up, thinking that, stereotype. Well, this is what a wide receiver one looked like. Man, we went up there and got scraped, got exposed. Got scraped and exposed. All our top players got injured. I was a backup wide receiver that year. I even got into the game. Matter of fact, it got so ugly that me and big white boy, which my white boy probably not to this day, we got in the game. Then my boy Bug, he run like Ashton Genty. My boy Bug, he called him a bowling ball because people used to hit him and they used to bounce off. Man, they was out there serving everybody. Everybody was getting it except for Bugs. We wasn't throwing the ball once I got in the game and Big White Boy got in the game, but we was getting slapped, blocking. Because I'm looking at Bud getting hit. He the second, third string running back getting hit. But he scored. Only one to score. But all I'm saying is stop looking at these stereotypical things because on the field, what it look like on paper ain't the reality of it. So that's why if you ain't never really been in a situation, when you hear certain things, you think certain things, but it means that, but it don't mean exactly that. It's like the wide receiver one thing, it don't mean exactly Justin Jefferson. So we have a wide receiver one, and it's Trey Tucker. Now, Jay Bech, is he gonna get traded? That's what Hondo said. Jay Bech is on his way out to get traded because he can't create separation. Now, let me tell y'all about that. I was like, why y'all keep saying that? Why do people keep saying that? What is NFL separation anyway? But there is a stat for that though, right? So I look at a little stat and it was like Jay Bech is like, don't create the separation that, below average or whatever, whatnot. Okay, cool. I get it. Because he ran a 4.6 allegedly. I don't think he ran, but he ran 4.6. They say 4.6, whatever. So obviously he a possession receiver. That don't mean that he gotta have. Matter of fact, I looked at his clips. If y'all seen the intro, I put Jay Bech in there on purpose because every clip I saw him in, he was open like that. Now the thing about it is, even when you're open, a lot of times the dude have his hands on your hip. He just can't turn you. So how open do y'all want? What do y'all think NFL open is? Because creating separation and being open is two different things. And I think if you have body control, you can fend defenders off when you're a bigger body receiver, and that's what he is. I heard Hondo say something about you use your booty to keep defenders off. I never really thought about doing it. I never done it like that, so that was kind of weird, strange to hear him say that. I've never shielded a guy off with my booty, but shout out to Hondo though. So even Marcus Allen even said about spoke on it. He was like Tucker is a wide receiver one. That's who stood. That's who stepped up when we lost. Kobe Myers, who we said wasn't a true number one, but he sure looked number one-ish when he was over there in Jacksonville. He would be a number one this year if he was with the Raiders and we gave him the bag. So Dont'e Thornton, same thing. Because if we're going to look at wide receiver that's fast, wide receiver that got height, the separation, all that. That's Dont'e Thornton. But now he's saying Dont'e Thornton might not even make the squad. So I'm like, wow, okay. I miss Renfro, the slot machine. Slot machine, I like that. He could separate in the slot for sure. They ain't know where he was going. There's the words of the late great Fife dog. If you don't say I'm the best, tell me who the hell will. Right? If I don't say I'm the best, yeah, you on point tip all the time, Fife. Grant High School Division One, yes. That can I played pulling right guard. Nice. In my opinion, Brock Bowers is outnumbered our number one receiver, even though he's listed as a tight end. No, because he is a tight end. He's a tight end. He plays a lot of receiver role. But and I told you guys this last year. If you keep putting your tight end out there in them situations, he gonna get hurt. He gonna get hurt. Y'all keep running them up and down around the field, watching these amazing robotic plays from heaven. He gonna get hurt. And y'all see how he got hurt last year, right? He got hit, right? Sprained his knee, all because he got hit in the thigh, running out of bounds. Because the way it landed. He gonna get y'all. We keep lining them up like that. He gonna get hurt. Y'all think Brock Bowers gonna have all them yards this year like that? He gonna have a hell of yards, but it ain't gonna be like how y'all think it is. And I would love it to not be like that. Now, if he getting a bunch of yards after catch, that's something different. But I'm just talking about a gang of targets like that. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it because our offense gonna be too all over the place. People ain't gonna know what to scheme for because y'all scheme for Brock Bowers. We gotta kill you with Trey Tucker and Naylor and Dont'e Thornton and Jack Bech. So Hondo said he had 6 receivers. Tucker, he was small. He 5'8", 5'9", whatnot. Too small, not a number one receiver. He is the number one receiver right now. But they saying he on any other team he'll be a number 2 or a 3. Same thing with Naylor. Naylor 6'1". 6 feet or something. Now, Hondo gave a stat that he was number 6 uh, wide receiver to create separation. Wasn't create separation, but that was on the boundary, being a boundary wide receiver. He said all around, but no, on the boundary, not all around. But with that being said, because I get what where he was trying to go with it was, what I get out of it is that X receiver. Now he's going to be the X receiver because he's the one that can fight off the jam or whatever. Because you can just grab Trey Tucker because he is slight of size. That's why you want him running in motion and off the line of scrimmage so he can attack you and you don't know where you're going. That's why Hunter Renfrow was so hard to manage. But what the defense understand is let him go and dance and then you hit him. Just let him catch it. And when he's running, just hit him. Running for your life. And that's what's wrong with Hunter Renfrow. Keep getting hit. Like hit. Grown people paying other grown people bills. They playing with big pride, big trust. Believe that. They about that. Whoop whoop. So so the two, he said Dont'e Thornton and Jack Bech is trade candidates. Practice squad, maybe. And I think that's just disrespectful, especially knowing what we had last year at receiving coach and all of the above, and the lack of leadership. And these guys were just rookies last year. Whatever happened to letting them have an off season and come back and show what they got? Y'all talking about putting them on a practice squad and trading them already. Like, what? It's clear that Kubiak is going to see what we have. That's why we didn't go get no D tackles. That's why we didn't go get no wide receivers. Wide receivers is probably the last position we need to start tricking off the bag or position for, because if we go get a good receiver and our offense is terrible, he's going to be disgruntled. Then his contract going to be up. It's going to be a whole bunch of distraction, and then he's going to be playing good, and then we're going to be like, we fumbled the bag, or he's not going to play good, and he's going to be pissed because offense is not where he is. We could plug and play a wide receiver at the last moment if necessary. Let's see what we got first. We had 2 rookies and y'all trading them already. Now I could see if we had a fair shot. Like whatever happened to see kicking the tires on that? But we want to keep kicking tires on players. We know what they are, but we're delusional. The Lululemon is where they be shopping at. When it comes to this person, and then when it comes to somebody that really be on the field all the time, or at least more than this person, we want to trade them already. I don't get it. I don't get it. So what he said, Dont'e Thornton, or who was it? Malik Benson. Malik Benson. He said he can see Malik Benson coming in and feeling some shine. Now, I think Malik Benson in the future is going to be that guy, but he ain't that guy right now. It's a reason why he went the 6th round. Like, I could see you dropping from the 4th to the 6th and people not knowing, but not from the 1st to the 6th and people not knowing. There's a reason. And the reason is because I think, he's nice. I like him because he got nice soft hands, I guess. Because when he catches the ball, it doesn't look like he's fighting with the ball. The ball naturally comes into his possession, and he doesn't fumble around with it or play around with it, and it connects with his speed. But Hondo said it's the after the catch thing, and he needs to improve his upper body. And I'm like, that's not what his issue is. Because that wouldn't make you drop to the 6th round just because you was a possession receiver and plus there's a lot of tape that says different about Malik Benson because we were talking about how he blows the top off the defense, but in OTAs, but his issue is his route running. He needs to fix his route running because anytime when you can round out something or your routes look predictable, you're gonna jump your routes. Same reason why he thinks that the undrafted free agent EJ Williams is going to make the squad because whatever the upsides he thought it was. But I'm like, it's his routes. Any receivers that have issues with their routes, you're not going to be highly regarded because you're not serviceable. Because they're going to be people stepping in front of you all the time, turning the ball over, making the quarterback look bad. I play wide receiver. I know about wide receiver more than I know about quarterbacking, for sure. So you don't have to just rely on your speed as a wide receiver. You got to know how to use your body and shield off defenders and instead of relying on your speed. Let me see what you guys say. Let me see what you guys say. It's around about an hour. I haven't heard anyone talk about this, but it makes a huge difference. How do you feel Kubiak's game management will be year one? I think it'll be just perfect. Especially if we're going to compare it to previous coaches that didn't know when to go for it on fourth downs, who didn't know when to call timeouts. That stuff matters the most. Imagine keeping up with a team and you trick it off because you don't know when to go for it on fourth down or when to call the timeout, and then you panic. Oh man, it's almost time for me to up out of here. I think Kubiak will test all of the wide receivers out in order to figure out what he has to work with. Yeah, for sure. I hope Thornton works out with Timmy Brown and learns some of those moves in order to go deep. He can yeah, that'd be nice to do that, but he can do that. How do I feel about Bech? Rome in the house. I feel like look, I feel like if they can use his skills to his ability, then cool. He was a second round pick. I mean, that's kind of high. I mean, like he must have some upside. I do like what he do in the blocking game. A lot of people try to miss just throw away the notion that I don't need my wide receiver. I need him to catch. I don't need him to block. What people don't understand is that's the first thing coaches look at it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, didn't I hear Naylor say no block, no rock? Yeah, that's a real thing. Because if you're not willing to give it on the line for your other teammates, and you just want them to block and all this other stuff so the quarterback can throw you the ball, how unfair is that? So you got to know how to block. And I've seen Bech get dirty. Can they say I haven't given up on Thornton at all? Remember, it took Branch until year 3 for it to click. Yeah, it usually takes 2 or 3 years. And then when your first year is sabotage, then aren't you going to look at it? Are you going to be somewhat jaded? That's why my argument about starting Mendoza is let's not throw him out there and mess up his confidence. And not confidence as far as his ability to think he's a good player, but his ability to get ahead of the curve on the league. Because if you're good, right, and year one you come in and you pretty decent, by that next year, they're trying to stop you from being good. And that's why you got to work on something in the offseason, whether that's more knowledge or footwork, whatever it is that you got to work on behind the center, whatever, to stay ahead of that curve just a little bit while they trying to chase you. It used to take an offseason. Now it don't even take that because they got these electronic tablets now. Let me see that play. Now, let me see every play Mendoza did on third down in outside the dome. And they got all the clips there. It used to take an offseason to get all that together. Because it took me 10 hours to do this intro video I did for the show. And it ain't even done yet, but that was just to get it presentable. So imagine how long it'd take to get clips together of games in certain situations. They used to just give you the full game clip and the tape, and you watch the whole game. Now you can watch a certain player obsess over one player. Remember I said winning is obsessive. That's how you win. It's about the details. It's like we gotta do all the little things in order for us to get to the point where we can win and win consistently. Unless y'all just want to win a championship and go back on a 40-year high end, and that's not gonna happen because we the Raiders. So the only thing that he's good at is that blocking. Everything else is mid. Yeah, that's your opinion. Dude could even create separation against Kelly. Right, man. I've seen him create separation hell of time. And what is separation? Do you even know what separation is? Is that even his job to create separation? Y'all starting to look at stuff that y'all never looked at before. We can create separation. What is separation? I just like saying stuff, bro. I just like saying stuff. But it's kosher. It's Raider Nation dead, man. It's just when, baby. I did a video like, is we getting soft, man. A lot of us is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Raider Nation is dead. Commitment excellence is dead. So I'm gonna talk about that a little bit more. So, and I want to talk about running back by committee going. One end of your mouth, you say Minty gonna get 2,000 all-purpose yard, but then at the other end of your mouth, you say that it's running back by committee. How do those two things work? You think we gonna run literally 3 running backs? Washington and Hempy. But Ashton Jeanty gonna get 2,000 though, all-purpose yards. I don't know, man. Back in tonight, man. I got like 2 more shows, man. Ain't nobody working harder than your boy Black on this thing in the offseason. You win championships in the offseason. While everybody got their feet kicked up waiting for the prime time lights to come on, there's somebody out there that's working hard in the most extreme situation. So then that way when the extreme situation comes, it's not a shock. They know how to get to it and get through it. I appreciate y'all for hacking in. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the loyalty. Y'all already know it's one nation. Y'all already know it's one nation. All day, every day. Because I'm a Raider, and you a Raider. From Bay to LA to Las Vegas.
All that matters is today. Stay present, man. 3.5 hours, do this together, man. It starts with us, it ends with us.
Thank you. God bless. Thank you guys for coming.
I'm a Raider, from the Bay to LA to Las Vegas. Recipes to Al Davis.